ideas and opinions expressed in the Black Shirt podcast are not necessarily the ideas and opinions of our sponsors.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Clint from the Black Shirt podcast. That's right. I am coming to you. Holy smokes, man. It's Friday night, and it's been a crazy one. And I don't normally do this, but I decided I wanted to do a video about WandaVision. I really enjoyed it. I stayed up late, watched it, woke up, watched it again. And I've been thinking about the episode all day, and I don't usually do walkthroughs like this, but I just said, you know what, let's do one. And so I'm just going to be fast forwarding through. If anybody's watching, there's no viewers right now, it's late. If anybody is watching, chime in, ask a question or a talking point, let's talk about stuff. But yeah, let's see here. Before we get started, like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, do all that stuff, and that'll let you know when we come back with a podcast or a discussion. Dirk's not with me tonight. He may come on later with me. We might do a short video or something. But anywho, let's jump into it. Alrighty. So here we go. First off, today was a weird episode. We didn't see any Darcy, Monica Rambeau, or Jimmy. It was just mostly Agatha Harkness and Wanda most of the time, and it was cool because it starts out with a little bit of. Oh, here, let's just jump into this thing. It starts with her back in the Salem witch trials era, and she's not on trial with her with normal people. This is her coven. And they pretty much got her bound up here, and they accuse her of studying dark magic that is basically beyond her pay grade, that she shouldn't be messing with as such a young witch. And she said, "No, I didn't do it." She tried to deny it and all that, and they pretty much said guilty, and they tried to hurt her. So I fast forward, they start all attacking her. Yeah, they're gonna get her, and she's hurt for a second, but then all of a sudden, it doesn't hurt anymore, and she starts absorbing their power. Boom, she drops them all, and she calls this lady her mother. I don't know if it's like a coven mother or her real mother, but she said, "Hey, I can be good." She said, "No, you can't. You're full of darkness," and starts punishing her. Same thing happens, and look at that crown she's got on it. It almost looks like Wanda's Scarlet Witch's crown thing that she wears, but. Yeah, and she pretty much takes her out too. Boom. Drops her, takes her pendant, and then is on her way. And then it moves forward. That was just, we're going to give you a little backstory about Agatha. So they do that, and then we move forward, and it's her and Wanda in her basement. And she pretty much lets Wanda know, look, how did you do it? You don't know what you're doing, I can tell, but you've got some crazy magic. Tell me how you did this. I can barely do these. It took me years to master these little illusions. You're doing a huge illusion, a whole town. I mean, down to the crown molding, she even says, you're doing all this on autopilot. How are you doing this? And Wanda is like, I don't know. Wanda doesn't really know. She's like, hers is like reflexive magic. She's like, it's all reflex. It's all either in, like, they fast forward here. Let me fast forward a little bit. So she says, look, pretty much, I'm jumping ahead of myself. She says, look, if you're not going to help me, we'll do it another way. And she plucks a hair. She does a spell. They go ahead and jump into the, what everybody's calling the Ghost of Christmas Past scenario. And they go through back to her childhood when she's a little girl. Look at them in the background watching. And pretty much she's sitting around her happy place is watching TV with her family. And anytime bad stuff, they're in the middle of a war, but she's in there safe and sound watching TV with her family until the bomb comes. Boom! Takes out her family. That's trauma. She ends up in this place with a missile in front of her for 2 days. More trauma. There's her TV. The Stark missile right there. Whoop. I'm passing it up. Anyway, yeah, so right there. And Agatha pulls her out of this thing and says, "Oh, okay, cool." She's like, "Yeah, I see. That was a probability hex. You're a witch, young witch." And she's like, "Probability hex? That thing was just a dud. It just got lucky. It didn't go off." She's like, "No, you're a witch. That was a probability hex." But it doesn't explain how you can do all this stuff. Let's go further. They keep going and they move forward. and she ends up in Hydra. Moves forward, and there's the Infinity Stone, the Mind Stone, and this thing ends up. She goes in as an experiment, and they also made a joke about her. Why did you go work for a terrorist organization? And she just said, "I wanted to change the world." Yeah, so she pretty much goes in there with the Mind Stone on the scepter there, and it freaks out, explodes. This is on fast motion, and goes over, and then explodes. Check this out. Boom. Explodes, and she sees a vision of herself. Watch this. Bam. Coming back from the future. Some people were thinking, is that her? Was it her? Is it, look, she sees herself right here. Is that her? That was her. Period. That's her. Pause it. Yeah, there it is. Look at her. That's her. So somehow, we don't know why or what's going on, but that's her from the future. And she gets pulled out of there. Pretty much Agatha said, okay, oh, we need a little more. Let's go further. It shows her. She's over here she's in the Avengers compound with Vision, watching TV. She's upset because Pietro had died. And they start talking, and he comes in. He's trying to console her. She's really upset, and she's not being mean, but she's not really having it much, and he's just really innocent. And he said, well, I don't know what it's like to lose anything because I've never had anybody. So I don't know what loss is, but and then he goes on to say one of the coolest lines I've heard, like a beautiful line. That I paused. I was like, wow, that was deep for a Marvel show. It was a deep show, but what did he say? He's like, what is grief if not love persevering? And which is true. I was like, wow, you lose somebody, but the love is there and it keeps on. And that's what grief is love persevering. It'd be different if you forgot them, but you're still grieving. That's the love persevering. And I was like, wow, that is really deep for a Marvel show. I was like, get ready for your Emmy. But yeah, and so it keeps going. Then they fast forward into when she goes to Sword, and she goes into Sword, and I'm thinking, awesome, I'm going to get to see her go in and kick a bunch of ass and go in there and retrieve Vision's body and get out of here. And I was just getting ready for this, and it doesn't happen. She goes in, and she finds Hayward's office, goes in there, and he's like, hey, there you are. Come on in. Step this way. You want to see it, right? And she's like, what are you talking about? He's like, it's down there. Look down there. And down there is his guys pretty much dissecting Vision. And she's like, what? What are they doing? He's like, yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, but pretty much she's like, I want to take him with me. And he's like, I can't let you take $3 billion worth of vibranium with you to bury somewhere. And she realizes he's absolutely correct. And she gets upset because they're sitting here like just dissecting her love of her life. And she gets upset. She jumps down and the soldiers and stuff, they start trying to they pull her guns on her and stuff, and Director Hayward's just like, hey dude, it's cool. I'm pretty sure he wanted her to reanimate Vision. I think he thought maybe this might happen. That's probably why he let her down there in the first place. But yeah, so she's down there, she's looking at Vision, and she's upset, naturally. And then she goes over and touches him, and she's like, you're not there anymore. She doesn't sense him. He's gone. Vision's gone. And this is like this is what a funeral is, honestly. It's like you go and you see your loved one, and it's the whole idea is to accept that the loss is real. And this is a real deep, real deep show for a comic book show. It's like, golly, man, she's really upset. So she leaves. She does not take Vision. So the security video that we had seen, that was Director Hayward manipulating everyone, saying this is a threat. But on the other hand, he was very nice to her. I think he wanted her to reanimate Vision, is what I think his goal was. But anyway, she's upset. This is setting in, much like a funeral. She leaves there, much like people after they leave a funeral, and she's upset. She gets in her car. She starts driving in her Buick. I didn't know that superheroes drove Buicks, but she's in a Buick. And I thought only old ladies drove Buicks. That's so weird. She's driving through town. You see all the people there. She's got this letter on the shotgun seat. And you don't know what it is. It looks like a letter or a card or something. But it turns out it's the deed to a house that Vision got for them to grow old together. And this is where it starts getting, you start really getting the feelings coming up, the oh no. And you see this and it's like, wow, man, this is getting heavy. And this is when she freaks out. She loses it. And here we go. Wait for it. Start crying. And then, kaboom. And this is how Westview became the TV show and everything happened the way it happened. She ends up building the house. She ends up building everything. And the Hex takes over, as you see there. And she ends up building everything, including Vision. And then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, welcome home. How you been? And her delusion starts. And so it's much like people escaping with alcohol or other things. You know, everybody wishes that they could have their loved ones back. She just made it happen. This is her own delusion. And she did this. And I don't think she really knew she was doing this. I think it was a self-defense mechanism, really. So then Agatha wakes her up, starts clapping. She sees, hey, there's studio lights. What's going on? And Agatha claps, wakes her up, gets out of there. Then all of a sudden, Agatha's got the kids outside, and she can hear her kids screaming. She goes outside. Agatha's sitting there with the kids, choking the kids, and says, okay, look, Wanda, you are dangerous business. You don't even realize what you can do. You are messing with chaos magic. I thought you were a mythical thing, but you were real. And you are using chaos magic, and you don't know how dangerous you are. And you know what that makes you? The Scarlet Witch. Yep. And then everything goes black. And holy smokes, dude. I got chills on that. There she said it, the Scarlet Witch, and game over. And you're like, wow, okay, now she's finally got her name. She's always been Wanda, and okay, we get the Scarlet Witch. We got a bunch of backstory. I was like upset. I was like, I want to see Monica Rambeau kick some butt, but holy crap, man, that was awesome. And I've seen some people that are like, oh yeah, when is it gonna get good? But man, I like the backstory. I like learning about all the stuff. I like seeing if they're going to go the way the comics go on certain things, if they're going to go a different way, what they do, how they do it, how they tell the story. And so far, it's been great, and they've kept me on my toes, and it's been really good. Are they going to have somebody else in this thing? Are they going to bust Mephisto into this thing? I don't know. Is Agatha working on her own or with somebody else? I don't know. The Evan Peters thing, is he really Evan Peters from the other universe? That's been the big question. I don't think so. I think he's just some random guy, and they just busted him in to be funny. And I think they're getting really good at figuring out how to kind of bait us a little bit to where we jump on this thing, and next thing you know, the internet is fighting and arguing over what's going to happen, who's going to be there. And then, well, I almost forgot the most important part. So after all that, they come back, and it's the sword guys. And he said, yeah, well, we put them together, took it apart 1,000 times. We never could find the right energy source to make it work. Who knew we would have to go back to the source? And the source being that drone they sent in that Wanda brought back out and said, here's your stupid drone, was charged with her energy. And there it is. Charged with her energy, and they use that thing to bring the White Vision online. Freaking White Vision, look out. Ooh, there he is. Awesome. Hey, let's look at my hand real quick. Hey, I'm alive. Now, who knows what personality is in there? That's like a whole new probably operating system. Who knows what's up? And are there any traces? That's what I've been wondering. Are there any traces of the old Vision in there at all? And, you know, she went over and like scanned him kind of and was like, oh, there's none of you in there. So it's going to be like Vision with probably no personality, which is something they did in the comic books back in the day. Originally originally Vision's personality was based on Wonder Man, and at one point he got disassembled, and then Hank Pym put it back together, and Wonder Man Simon didn't want to. He didn't want to let him use his personality or brainwaves again. And so, long story short, is they kind of just had a robotic Vision for a while. Then they stuck somebody else's personality, like brainwaves, in there. But later, there was some latent Wonder Man brainwaves that kind of surfaced, and he kind of got a combination of both personalities. And what I wonder is if they're going to use him like a weapon, and he's going to start wrecking shop. And then in the middle of it, when it comes time for him to do something like kill Wanda, is the love for Wanda going to surface and keep him from doing that? And maybe it brings him back. There's people talking, maybe they're going to merge the two to make one. Maybe they're going to take the Hex Vision, his personality, and throw him into White Vision. Who knows what's going to happen, but it's pretty crazy. So anyway, it's exciting, and I'm really stoked. And also next week, what's going to happen? Like, is there going to be a big climax? I mean, you got Vision, you've got Monica Rambeau now. You don't know about Evan Peters' Quicksilver. Agatha's got the kids. Is there going to be a big reveal? Paul Bettany said, hey, there's somebody that I've been really excited about working with. Amazing talent that I've been excited to work with my whole life. Was he joking and it's himself? Or and that's the big reveal, the White Vision, it's himself and he's being funny? Or is there going to be somebody that shows up who is awesome? Also, do they have enough time? I was listening to another live stream today, and that's true. It's like they don't have a lot of time to take care of all these loose ends. So what are they going to do? It's like, and I thought about it. I was like, hey, another thing that could happen is Doctor Strange could just show up and be like, okay, this is too much. Just, you're coming with me, and just steal her, and then we'll come. Don't worry, we'll come back and fix this. And they could end it that way, where it's like a huge cliffhanger, which would suck if they did that. Is it going to be Vision versus Vision? I mean, that could happen too. It could be the Hex Vision sacrifices himself and saves Wanda against the other Vision, and which would be really tragic. Or this other Vision perseveres, but he doesn't really love Wanda anymore. So she's got Vision back, but he doesn't love her anymore because he's kind of a stale person, robotic personality. Who knows? There's a million ways this could go, and they're all exciting. And I've really enjoyed the series so far. So next week we will see. And so, yeah, so that's it. We'll be talking about it. Me and Dirk will be talking about it. So if you got any questions or comments or theories, go ahead and just comment those. We'll check them out, and next time we go on, we'll talk about it, all right? So thank you guys for listening. Again, I don't usually do these walkthrough videos. I was just bored home on a Friday night, and I said, hey, I'm going to try this, see how it goes, see if people like it, see if I like it, and we'll see you guys soon. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and we'll see you guys later, all righty?